So today we're talking about the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is very much a card of the past. It can be a card of childhood. It talks about nostalgia, memories, and overall reconnecting with your past. Let's look at the symbolism on the Six of Cups. So if you see here, you've got the children here, one giving a cup filled with flowers to the other, and they symbolise innocence, childhood, and the joy of simple pleasures. They symbolise the act of giving a cup of flowers that represents sharing and generosity. So the flowers in the cup symbolise purity, innocence, and the beauty of memories. They also represent the potential for growth and new beginnings stemming from past experiences. In the background we have a castle or a large house. And this represents security, safety, and the comfort of home. It indicates a stable and nurturing environment reminiscent of the past. There's a guard here, I don't know if you can see in the background, who's holding a spear. I think he's kind of, I don't know if he's there to maybe be seen to be keeping guard over the children. But this symbolises protection and the safeguarding of innocence. It suggests that the past is something to be cherished and protected. The weather is bright and sunny, it's a nice day. Which symbolises clarity, warmth and happiness, and it suggests a positive and joyful outlook on past memories and experiences. So how might the Six of Cups show up in a reading? So when the Six of Cups shows up in a reading, it can often be talking about our past, particularly maybe our childhood. It's the reconnecting to our past selves. It can come up to indicate that somebody or something may be returning from our past, or it could come up to simply mean that you are reconnecting with your own past, maybe in order to do some inner child healing. This card highlights to us the importance of past influences. It can speak about the joy and the innocence of simpler times, and the importance really of connecting back with our inner child and our past. So how might it show up in a reading? So in a reading it may show up to indicate that the person that you're reading for, there may be a longing there for the past. They may be experiencing a sense of nostalgia at the moment. So they might be reminiscing about their childhood, past friendships or past romantic relationships, or any kind of significant events that might have brought them joy or comfort in their childhood or in their past. It might show up to remind us of the innocence and joy that can really only be found in childhood. And so it might actually be encouraging you to start looking back in that area now and maybe revisiting places of your childhood, or seeking out old hobbies that you might have had in childhood. Or it could come up to sort of tell you that something in your childhood has got massive importance for your life going forward. So a lot of the times, I say this to people a lot, that when people are really struggling to find their purpose, or people are very much like, you know, I know I want to do something, but I'm not sure what it is that I'm supposed to be doing, but I know I'm meant to be doing something. There's really always clues in childhood. So whatever you used to play in your childhood games, how you would use make-believe, the things, the roles, the characters that you would take on, the sort of games that you used to play, your hobbies, your interests, even kind of your personality as a child, there'll be clues there. If you're really lost about what it is you're meant to be doing going forward, and you feel you've got a purpose but you don't know what it is, look to your childhood for clues. There will always be clues in your childhood, and so this card can come up for that reason too. It can come up to tell you that that would be a good place to start looking and finding answers from. It can come up to show that the person being read for, there could be a reconnection or a reunion about to take place. So a person or people from their past they're gonna encounter again soon. So in a reading it might come up to show that you might be receiving a message or a letter or a phone call from a person soon who was a big part of your past. This can sometimes be past relationships. So although this is quite a positive card, it can sometimes come up to warn us that maybe an ex is coming back, and that might not always be seen as a positive thing. But it can certainly not warn us, but it can certainly come up to indicate as well that positive relationships are coming back, like old friends, or maybe an ex that you actually want to come back. But you know, just to bear in mind on the other hand that it can come up to sort of say that somebody less desirable to you might be coming back into your life again, and that you might be hearing of them soon. This card can also come up to indicate that you may be receiving an unexpected gift. It can also mean that an act of kindness is coming your way. It can also mean that you're in a position now where you could help others. It may be urging you or encouraging you to start being more generous, and to look at how that you can give to others and how you can be kind yourself. It also is a big indicator for healing, and especially healing the inner child or past wounds from the past, so usually childhood wounds. It especially around relationships, so if there were any kind of wounds or healing that's needed around particularly family relationships, it can come up to say that now is the time to start that inner healing with your relationships. And a lot of the time it's very suggestive that the inner child work would be really good for you at this point as well, because it can indicate that your inner child is trying to talk to you. Maybe you haven't understood that until you have the reading, but then you have a reading and this card comes up to say that your inner child is trying to talk to you right now, and they're trying to get your attention. And so it can suggest things like looking into inner child work, seeing how you could do that kind of work, and like things like journaling, inner child meditations, things like that are really good. But it certainly means that now might be a good time where you can be healing or resolving past conflicts that that might have occurred previously. So it's a card that absolutely sort of talks about you seeking closure now on issues that might have been lingering for a long time. So earlier we spoke about how it can talk about you might be receiving a gift. Because of the nature of the card as well, it's often a big indicator that you might be receiving a sentimental gift, so something that's going to really mean something to you, or you may find something that is sentimental. So maybe you're clearing out an old box that's been in the family a while, and you thought it was junk, and then you suddenly come across something that you remember from your childhood, and you decide to keep it because it has sentimental value. So it can mean that too. And it can mean that you're just returning to your roots. So maybe you decide to visit your hometown if you've been away, or maybe you actually, it might be an indication that you're going to start getting into looking into your family tree and doing the ancestry type work that you can do, where you build a family tree and you can look at or your ancestors. So it could come up to just indicate that something that is something of interest to you, or it's something that could be of interest to you, or it might actually come up to say there's something positive, or something not even necessarily positive, but something of importance that you're going to find in your family tree. There's some kind of important information in your family tree that's going to help you going forward. And so it's a bit of an indication to say, well, if you're not already into that sort of stuff, if you're not already looking into that, then maybe look into that, because you might just find something really important there that's going to be a big help to you. So finally, this card emphasises the importance of learning from past experiences. So you may be reflecting on past lessons, mistakes or successes, and applying those insights now to any kind of decision making going forward for your future.